Hello viewers, welcome to another episode with Excellence Tuition Center. Today we are going to be revising section B of Combined Science Specimen Paper 2. Before I begin, don't forget to like, share and subscribe so that you get notifications when we produce another video. So let me dive straight to the solutions. So section B, question number 7, it reads, Fig 7.1 shows two types of specialized cells, A and B. Identify cells A and B. So you are required to identify the types of cells which look like this and the type of cells which look like this. So A, these are the muscle cells. These are the muscle cells. Cells B, these are the red blood cells. So from the shape we can tell that cells A are muscle cells and cells B are red blood cells. Item 2, it reads, explain how cell B is adapted for its function. So these kind of questions require you to give the structure and give a reason why it has such a structure. So these are specialized cells, meaning to say they are meant to perform one particular action or one specific function. So the muscle cells, they allow for movement, for contraction and relaxation, whilst the red blood cells, their main function is to carry oxygen around the body. So the adaptations, they contain hemoglobin, which combines with oxygen and allows the red blood cells to carry oxygen around the body. Another adaptation is that they have no nucleus to increase the oxygen carrying capacity, and they have a biconcave disc shape, so their shape is biconcave disc shaped so that they increase the surface area for oxygen absorption. They are also elastic to squeeze through narrow tubes in the blood, and they also have thin cell membranes which allow for quick diffusion of oxygen. So oxygen can easily enter quickly because they have thin walls. So their membranes, which is the walls, they are very thin. So it allows for quick diffusion of oxygen. And then item 3, it reads, outline how blood provides immunity. So first of all, I'd like to define what immunity means. So immunity means the ability of a body to resist and defend itself against infections and diseases. That is what immunity means. So blood contains white blood cells and platelets. So the white blood cells and the platelets, they assist in providing immunity for the body. So the white blood cells, they produce antibodies and they also kill bacteria. The white blood cells which are responsible for the production of antibodies are the lymphocytes, and the ones which are responsible for killing bacteria or killing pathogens are the phagocytes. So they engulf and kill bacteria in a process called phagocytosis. And the platelets, they are responsible for blood clotting. So blood clotting helps to reduce blood loss. And we have also, so question B, it reads, state 2 conditions that are necessary for seeds to germinate. So the conditions that are necessary for seeds to germinate, we need moisture or water, we need warmth, we also need oxygen. So I just stated 3 of them. 7B, item 2, the question reads, a farmer planted 640 maize seeds on a prepared piece of land, and after 7 days, 480 seeds yet germinated. Calculate the percentage germination. So the percentage germination, the formula says that percentage germination is equals to number of seeds that germinated over total seeds planted times 100%. So the number of seeds that germinated is 480 over 640. multiplied by 100, so we get 75% percentage germination. Question 8, it reads, Fig 8.1 shows the structure of a flower. So this is the flower. State the functions of parts L, M, and N. So L is the anther. So the function of the anther is to produce pollen grains. And we have M. M, this is the style. The style, its function is a tube which allows pollen grains to travel from the stigma to the ovule. It also holds the stigma in position. And N, this is the sepal. So this one, it protects the flower when it starts to bud. So budding is the first development stages of a flower when a flower starts to form. So here, suggest the type of pollination of the flower. So the type of pollination of this flower, this is an insect pollinated flower. This is an insect pollinated flower. Item 3, give 2 reasons for your answer in item 2. So number 1 is that the anther and the stigma are enclosed within the petal. So the anther and the stigma are enclosed within the petal. Another adaptation which is visible on the flower are the nectaries. Yeah, so these are the nectaries which produce nectar. So the best answers for this question, we can include the answers which are visible on the flower, which is said they have anthers and stigma which is enclosed within the petal, and also they have nectaries which produce nectar which attracts insects. Item 4, the question reads, explain how the male sex cell gets to the female sex cell. So the male sex cell gets to the female sex cell during sexual intercourse or during mating. So the male sex cells, they are stored in the epididymis, and during the process of ejaculation, the male sex cells, they travel from the epididymis through the sperm duct out of the urethra and into the vagina, and they fuse with the female sex cell in the oviduct or fallopian tube. State any 2 signs of puberty in males. So 2 signs of puberty in males, we have broad shoulders, we have voice, the voice deepens in males, and pubic hair starts to grow, and the testicles and penis enlarge, pimples also develop, and there's growth of a beard. So those are the signs of puberty in males. Define aerobic respiration. So define aerobic respiration. That is question 9, item 9A, item 1. So the definition for aerobic respiration is that it is the breaking down of glucose in the presence of oxygen to produce energy, carbon dioxide, and water. So that is the definition of aerobic respiration. So aerobic, it means that it is in the presence of oxygen, whilst anaerobic means in the absence of oxygen, and also the products are different. In aerobic respiration, we produce carbon dioxide and water. In anaerobic respiration, there's production of lactic acid and carbon dioxide, or we may produce alcohol and carbon dioxide. Item 2, it reads, state the differences between inhaled and exhaled air. So the differences between inhaled and exhaled air, the 3 differences, so I'm just going to state more than 3. So inhaled air has more oxygen, which is approximately 21%. Exhaled air has less oxygen, which is approximately 16%. Inhaled air has less carbon dioxide, approximately 0.03%, and more carbon dioxide. And exhaled air has more carbon dioxide, which is approximately 4%. Inhaled air has less water vapor, whilst exhaled air has more water vapor. Inhaled air the dust inhaled is variable in the air inhaled, and for the exhaled air there is none in the there's no dust exhaled, just because it is trapped by the hairs in the respiratory lining. The inhaled air is also at a lower temperature, usually room temperature, or the temperature of the environment in which you are in. The exhaled air is at body temperature. Item 3, state 2 products of aerobic respiration in plants. So the 2 products of aerobic respiration in plants, I'm just going to state 3. We have energy, carbon dioxide, and water. Those are the products of aerobic respiration. Part B, state and explain any 2 adaptations by desert plants to reduce transpiration. So the adaptations by desert plants to reduce transpiration, they have a reduced surface area, a reduced leaf surface area. For example, they can be thorn-shaped. For example, the cacti plants, they have thorn-shaped leaves, and they also have small, narrow leaves, e.g. the acacia plants. So they have a reduced surface area such that the rate of transpiration is reduced. They also have a thin waxy cuticle, which reduces water loss. And they also have sunken stomata, which are surrounded by hairs to reduce rate of transpiration. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of section B. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you get notification when we post a new video. Stay tuned for section C and D.